Queen's lifelong love of horses is well known, and alongside her service to the country, horse racing was a favoured hobby.
Well, Nikki Henderson, close to the royal family for many years, being trusted indeed with training the Queen's horses, joining us now. And Nikki, we reflect on the joy that we saw in her face when she had a winner, of course, and indeed a successful stud as well, let's not forget.
Well, horse racing was her one little pastime, I think. And it was actually through a genuine just love of the horse. And she was a terrific friend to our little community. One must remember that racing in the big picture is not an enormous number of people involved, but racing was very, very fortunate to have her as a figurehead, a patron, and to be honest with you, just a fantastically good friend.
And Nikki, we say the Queen had a lifelong love of horses, but actually, when did it start? How did it start?
Well, I think she was always. I think riding was part of childhood, but I don't know when the racing exactly began. But I mean, racing has been a part of the royal family for a very, very long time, and it goes back in history. But both the Queen Mother, who I originally trained for, and Her Majesty the Queen, they both shared this great love of horses, and particularly horse racing. The Queen Mother actually had what we call the National Hunt horses that I took over in the 1990s, the beginning. And the Queen was primarily, her horses were on the flat. And it was only when the Queen Mother died that the Queen, it was great honour and pleasure for us, took over the Queen Mother's horses. And she inherited the horses, and I don't know, she probably didn't want to, but she inherited me as well. So, we've had a wonderful 20 years of enjoying the sport together. And she has been, as I say, to racing something very special. And we've been very lucky to have had her as, the front of our sport.
As we speak to you, we're just seeing some pictures of you together with the Queen, and I hope this is an occasion when you did have a winner, but whether it was a winner or not, she just loved the occasion of being there, in Ascot particularly, and one wonders what happens now to Royal Ascot, even though clearly King Charles, he's been a very accomplished polo player. Does he have the same affinity?
I don't think horse racing is his number one pastime. No, he's a very good rider. He played polo very successfully, as did Prince Philip as well. And as much as I think, even the Queen wasn't able to go racing very often. I know that Royal Ascot and the Epsom Derby would have been the first two things put in the diary at the beginning of the year, and they were cast in stone. But after that, it was very difficult for her to escape from that amazingly hectic schedule that she carried out for so many years in serving the country. And as I say, we were just lucky to have a little bit of her time doing something that she genuinely enjoyed. And you see pictures like that. No, I don't think the horse won that day. You've got the picture of. But if you go back to when Estimate won the Ascot Gold Cup at Royal Ascot, not too many years ago, the pictures from that told the whole story. The pure joy, elation and everything was absolutely spectacular. And, those are the pictures we remember so well. And just have to appreciate how lucky we were to have her in our world.
Indeed. Thank you for paying your tribute, Nikki, and our best to all of you there at Lambourne. Of course, a sad loss to the whole horse racing fraternity. Thanks very much for joining us here on GB News.